What's going on YouTube? H-Dub here, and we are not playing Raid right now because apparently I am the worst dishonest CC lying to make content. And you know, I've been a lot of things, man. Creating content ain't easy, especially when you know you got a full-time job as well, but a liar is one thing I have never been in my entire life. It's something that I take very seriously. I try to be a very honest, humble guy, respectable. You know, I give people their due respect and whatnot, but being a liar is just something I'm not. So I uploaded a video yesterday about Stultus. He's a great champion. Great, amazing champion. Got a lot of positive feedback on it, but you know, you can't please everybody. So let's just take a look. You know, some guy, he was really displeased with the fact that I had to edit my video because, you know, we do have to edit our videos sometimes. And he pretty much told me I am a liar. He assumed that I would say he was a random hater and that I would delete his comment and, you know, all of these other things. So but none of that was the case. I didn't delete the comment. He said he was gonna blast me on Reddit, all this other stuff. Kind of wish he would have posted it on Reddit. Would have brought in some great views. But you know, I tried to explain myself because, you know, you could call me anything and I wouldn't care. Like, I don't usually respond to these things, but a liar is crazy. And then like people are liking his comment. He got this other guy to jump on the bandwagon too. Not sure why you would deny dry running him before, saying you haven't seen him in that team as it was saved. I explained to these guys. He's calling cap on my explanation. He even went and wasted 16 energy trying to check, and you know, they're really trying to figure this out, but it wasn't a mystery at all. I told them to give me their emails. I'll send the file. Do you want to see the raw recording? I'd be happy to send it. My first response, I did not run it before recording, LOL. Like, these guys never said they wanted to see the file though. So I thought, you know, if anything, you guys should see the file. So what I've done here is I have uploaded the entire 30 minutes of me making that video. There's going to be a lot of silence. There's going to be parts in the original video you didn't see. Me testing things out to see if it would work, to see if I wanted to show it or not. But, you know, check it out, guys. You are going to be the ones who determine if I'm actually a liar or not. These guys have blocked me or whatever they needed to do because they didn't, you know, I know how it is to be in that position when you're arguing a point or a position, and you know, if you're wrong, you know, you don't want to, that just looks bad. It's hard to come back from that. So, you know, you guys are going to be the judge here. Is HWZ the worst lying CC, dishonest, just lying to make content? Because trust me, I don't have to lie to make content. I could upload whatever and it'll be content. So go ahead and cross compare with this video I uploaded yesterday. You're going to want to go to this 3 minute and about 38, 39, whatever second mark. Start comparing from there with this video that I've uploaded. Probably going to be around the 8-minute mark of that original recording. But you guys are going to get to watch the whole thing. I would do commentary side by side with it, but I want you guys to be the judge, man. How dishonest am I? Am I lying to make content? You guys be the judge, man, and who knows, maybe these guys will see it, you know, recommend it to them, and you know, they'll have a change of heart. I'm not looking for an apology or anything like that. I just, you know, I just want people to know I'm not dishonest. I'm just a regular 4th grade teacher trying to have fun making some raid content, guys. So you guys go ahead, check out the Stultus video, cross compare the timestamps and what's going on with what you see in the raw footage, and let me know down below in the comments if I'm a liar. And if I am, sorry in advance, guys, but I'm only human. So enjoy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all of your awesome support. It means the world to me, guys. And until next time, be good and be well. Enjoy this raw footage of me actually making a video on what it's like to be a content creator. Peace. Oh, by the way, I did mention that in that raw footage, I did mention that the guy was saying, yes, I did have my fastest time with the Stultus team. Just for the record, boom, here's that run in case it matters to anyone who wants to analyze any further. This was November, what have you, Dragon 21 seconds. If just if anyone wants to, nitpick here, there, blah, blah, whatever. But enjoy, guys. Peace again. What's going on, YouTube? H-Dub here, and we playing Raid. And today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite champions. He was actually my favorite champion before I pulled my current favorite champion, Harima, which is naked at the moment because we got to show this guy with all of his potential. And that champion is Mr. Stultus Dragonbane. All right, now Stultus, I've already done a video on. I showcased him against the Nether Spider just because of how broken he is there. He is amazing there because of his passive. But let's take a look at his kit. Not to mention he looks great. Let's look at his kit though. Right now on the A1, attacks one enemy 2 times. If the target is under any debuff, each hit decreases the target's turn meter by 10%. A2, attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a stun for 1 turn. On his A3, places a increased defense buff on himself for 3 turns. Then attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a 25% decreased crit damage on enemies whose attack is higher than their defense, and also has a 75% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns on enemies whose attack is equal to or lower than their defense. Passive ability: whenever an enemy attempts to place a weakened debuff, a decreased defense debuff, or a poison on this champion, reflects them back onto the attacker. Damage increases by 5% for each debuff on the target. So this guy has an amazing kit. He also has an amazing aura. Increase allied defense in all battles by 30%. But let's just talk about some of the places where we can use this champion. Obviously, we can use him in PvP content. I was using him in 3v3, Gold 4 3v3 for a long time. I don't really use him there much anymore just because I have better champions now, but he was my main nuker in Classic Arena for a little bit, as well as in the team that I favored the most for 3v3. Now, you can also use him in the Doom Tower. He's also great for wave clearing. He is an amazing champion overall wherever you choose to use him. He can also double as a spider tank for you. So if you have pulled this champion early and you're you're looking to progress the dungeons, you should definitely invest in this guy. And I'm gonna show you why you can use him pretty much everywhere, right? Right now, obviously, I have him in some pretty broken gear, right? So you might not be able to achieve these stats, but just go for these stats, right? Attempt to achieve these stats and you will be fine, all right? He's a bit slow at the moment, 170 speed, but we got 7K defense, decent HP. Crit cap will over the cap at the moment, 272 on the crit damage, and a little bit of accuracy just because he does need accuracy in order to reflect this back. I have tested this against the Nether Spider. He does need accuracy in order to reflect that poison back. He also is going to need accuracy to reflect those poisons back in the spider dungeon, right? But you can use him as a spider tank. Anywhere there's a spider putting up poisons, this guy is your go-to. But let's take a look at what he can do in some of the dungeons, right? So let's take him in the dragon first, right? If you're in the early mid game, what have you, push this guy, you're trying to get faster dragon times. My fastest time on stage 20 is 21 seconds, and I used Stultus, right? So right now I have Harima in lead. Wasn't the case. Stultus was here. Stultus was here, and the comp is not going to be as fast as it was then just because he is a bit slower now because he has more damage. I could take out the fast roll guard. Both of these roll guards are fast now because of Hydra, and I used one in Fire Knight, but it is fine, right? You can use this champion. We can take these roll guards out and even throw someone else in there. Not even use Kymar as a reset. Let's just showcase this. how someone else, how you guys would be using it. Draco, we can take Draco out. Everybody doesn't have a Draco. But let's take a look. Let's just, we can throw a reset in there. So where's Renegade? We'll throw Renegade in. We need a decreased defense champ. A lot of people in the early game have a Deacon Armstrong. Mine probably doesn't have any gear on at the moment. He's also weak affinity for this dungeon, so we really don't want to use him. So we're going to go ahead and use War Maiden, right? So we're going to use a War Maiden, a Renegade. We're going to use Stultus, and who else can we bring in that a lot of people have? I mean, we could bring in Kale, but Kale doesn't have any gear on. Eviscerator doesn't have any gear on right now. We could bring in Eviscerator. We could bring in a Cold Heart, but they're too fast to showcase what we really want to do. Let's just go ahead and, I don't know, let's use this 3-man team here. Let's use this 3-man. 205, 227 should be fine, right? Opener, first choice, right? No, actually, we're going to open with that. First choice here. And he's great against the dragon because the dragon is going to be putting up poisons too. He's going to be reflecting those poisons back at the dragon. We're going to make sure she doesn't use this on the first turn. She can use it on the second turn. War Maiden is obviously going to prioritize this. And we don't have a weaken, but this is stage 20. You can place any 2 other champions that you need here to get this done. But we're talking about early mid game. You guys are farming, you're trying to farm stage 20. Obviously you want to be farming the higher stage, but if you're pushing tournaments, if you're trying to push any other, you want to push fusions, you're going to be farming stage 20 for fusions anyway. So let's just take a look and see what this 3-man team can do. I'm not sure what it can do. I haven't put it in yet, but I am confident that Stultus will be fine. He's positive affinity for the boss, so the boss can land weak hits on him. It will 100% be fine. We don't have weaken. We do have decreased defense, though. And he goes in. He's doing a ton of damage, right? With weaken, he can just wipe this down. And if he was faster, he would just clear that, right? So we're going to go in. He's done some damage, so he can get, he's going to do a bit more mitigation there, right? He went before War Maiden because she's not fast enough. But Stultus is about to jump in, take a turn right after this guy goes, and it's going to be fine. We're going to get to the boss. We lost Renegade, but it's all good. We may lose War Maiden here, but it doesn't really matter. He's going to be reflecting the poisons back at the boss, okay? Reflecting the poisons back at the boss. And this is where someone like, your Royal Guard comes in handy. Your Cold Heart is going to come in handy. All those enemy max HP champs, Husk, they come in handy for you, right? But the boss is going to put up some poisons, right? And he just reflects them back. Now, we don't have him here to heal. So that was a fail. Now, full disclosure, I won't showcase the original team that I used for this just because people are going to be like, oh, I don't have, you might not have Royal Guards, you might not have multiple copies, you might not have them in Savage, you might not have this, you might not have that. So we can take a look at this comp. Obviously, we got Stultus, we got Kaimar here. You can use any reset champ. If you got a Painkeeper, you can use that even. It'll be slower. If you got a Renegade, you can use that. It'll be better than using Painkeeper. Obviously, we got Draco more for decreased defense weaken, but there are other champions that you can use for decreased defense weaken. Like I believe Spider is an epic one that does decreased defense weaken. There are other champions. I mean, you might not have Lydia yet, but there are options, right? You got Herndік that plays decreased defense on one skill, plays weaken on another skill, but there are options. Obviously, Royal Guard is the best way to go for Dragon just because he has the ability to place a decreased defense on his A1 so that when you get to the boss, you can have decreased defense up just in case, Draco doesn't take an extra turn if you've got him in Relentless or what have you, if you even have a Draco. But let's take a look at just what this comp, like the potential that you have, and we'll talk about some other substitutes for these champions. But obviously, we're here to talk about Stultus. So let's go ahead and take a run with this. I haven't seen what this can do. I haven't, ran this. But the premise is the same. We want enemy max HP champs. We want to get decreased defense, weaken up, right? Just so we can make sure we're doing the maximum amount of damage. And then we want to smack the waves, right? You have Stultus just smacking these waves. This is something that you can do. We got 3% in here. So, boom. That's going to slow up the run a little bit. But Stultus is going to come back around for us. This actually helps us a little bit so that Draco can come back around, get decreased defense up. Obviously, they're wasting the Heartseeker right there. That's not great for us. But maybe we get a reset from Kaimar. They can come back around with it. And it can still be a decent run for you, right? So the preset obviously was trash for this, but it's fine. Now we get crazy damage there from the Cold Heart, right? So let me just go ahead and fix this preset. See if we can't get a faster run without getting 3%. And you guys can, get an idea for how fast the comp can be, right? But you want to be bringing in at least someone that plays decreased defense. If you don't have a decreased defense and weakened champion, you want a reset champion, you want 2 enemy max HP champions, and you want a Stultus. But you don't need Stultus for this. You can just run multiple enemy max HP champions in here with resets and decreased defense and just get through it. Because once you get to the boss, it's going to be easy. You get that decreased defense up on the boss. Enemy max HP champs are just going to wipe the boss down. Like they're going to wipe them down completely. Obviously, he didn't clear that wave there, but it's fine, right? We're coming back around. Boom, a Cold Heart's going to take a turn. That's only slowing up the run, but it's fine. We got 3% on weaken on that guy, so didn't get the max damage. So that's what it'll look like with him in very good gear if, you don't have a champ that also places weekend. But here we're going to get a big smack from Cold Heart. Boom. And then boom. And then it's done, right? You could do this in like 30 seconds or so. Plus, it's going to be sub 1 minute, guys. Trust me. But he is a decent wave clear. You can use him to clear waves there. I said that you can also use him as a spider tank. I don't have a team set up for that at the moment. This is the team that I use to do Spider 20. It's like super fast, right? 9-second team. But say you don't have Cold Hearts, you don't have Royal Guards, you don't have decreased defense weaken, you don't have reset, right? You can bring in some combination of this, right? Now the boss is Spirit Affinity. Say you got your Stultus in. Say you do have some HP burn champs, right? You got Akoth, the Seared, right? So let's see, where's Akoth? Let's just try to throw something in with him and see if, what we can do, guys. I don't know how this is going to go. So if it looks terrible, don't laugh too hard at me. But he's negative affinity, so he's going to be helping us out. We can bring in, these two guys here, and they'll help us out a ton with turn meter control. And then, we can bring in, let's see, we can bring in a Renegade, right? We can bring in a Renegade. Why not? And this obviously isn't the best option. The better option would be to be bringing a freeze champ in here. But this is if you don't have one. You can use Stultus as a tank right? We got some turn meter control, we got HP burn, and we have someone to tank, right? So let's just go ahead and see what it can do. I'm not gonna full auto right now. I didn't just make the preset. I could make a preset and we can see how fast it actually is, but here we go. They're gonna come down. We got the soul bonds who are gonna go first. Decrease some turn meter there on the boss. He's gonna drop the rest. We're gonna get HP burn up on everybody. We're gonna let her take a turn right there. Decrease some turn meter with her A1. And then we're going to let her A1. They are in stun set, so it's fine. But Stultus going in with his A1, he's gonna tank. They're not gonna place any poisons on him, so they're not gonna do too much damage. We don't have a healer in here. Boom, but we do have HP burn. And it's fine. Now, in a comp like this, you do want the Spider Links to die because once the boss takes a turn, if he takes a turn, we got the soul bonds in here who are, you know, they're doing a great job of keeping that boss controlled. I didn't build this, guys. I just know what these champions do. And, you know, I'm just trying to, you know, give you guys some insightful information. The soul bonds are in a stun set because, you know, they work very well in a stun set. If they can come back around to their A3, you know, we got a reset champ in there who is helping us to get their A3 back. I could, you know, obviously speed tune this to be a proper comp, but what we're just trying to show is Stultus can tank. Obviously, they're going to target her now, but it's fine. We need to get HP burn back up. All right, and the boss just healed. So this is a very slow run. Not the best showcase by far. Soul bond shot when we don't need it. But you get the mechanic, right? You understand the mechanic of what is going on. Stultus, if you build him in a comp 2 tank, he will tank for you. And he will be fine, right? You can build him to heal. You can bring in a healer. Whatever you need to do, right? You just bring in an HP burn champ. He's going to be destroying spiderlings. If you build him faster, he's going to be using his A1 to decrease turn meter as well. Only reason I'm bringing this up is because I just had a conversation with someone. As you can see, boom, he's decreasing the boss's turn meter there. Obviously, Stultus just went down, but you get the premise, right? Obviously, I could showcase this to its full potential, but I didn't prepare this. I just wanted to show you that he's going to be getting hit and he's going to be reflecting the poisons, right? So I didn't just make a preset or anything for this. Now, the place where he really shines, and Akoff doesn't even have gear on. Look at that. The place where he really shines, though, is in, you know, PvP. All right. So he has some decent, you know, multipliers. You can bring them in. We can take a look at some teams. You know, obviously, a lot of these teams are built crazy at the moment. And obviously, I'm going to be using some OP champs that you might not have. Full disclosure, because I already know someone's going to be like, oh, he used Siffy. Oh, he used this. Oh, he used, you know, Warlord, what have you. It is okay, guys. There are other options in here, right? If you already got your Arbiter missions done, great. Use your Arbiter. Bring in a decreased defense champ. I'm not even bringing in a decreased defense champ, right? If I brought in a decreased defense champ, he would completely wipe them, you know, no problem, right? So we're not using decreased defense. This guy puts up his own increased defense, so you don't need a Siffy. All you need is someone to turn meter boost for you. So even if you're using Spirit Host or, you know, High Katoon, any of that, he's putting up increased defense on himself, on his nuke ability. So very versatile as a nuker, right? Now, the team that we're about to face has a Duchess, right? He's weak affinity for Duchess, but it is fine. We're still going to try to come in and do what we can. Let's see how much damage he does. So some decent damage there. We did not one-shot everybody, but yeah, this guy is not, you know, he's not barren, right? But he's going to get the job done for you. We got the Nutcracker over here who's very annoying champion, but it's fine. We're just going to let this go on auto. See how much damage Stultus can do. Boom. He took him out. Took out the Necrit. It's fine. Let's go ahead and tag up Pythion one time. Pythion down. And this is obviously not the fastest farm. Siphi revive. She's going to revive again after she spins around and does that. Come on with the revive. Boom. He's gone. And now we just got to take down the Duchess, but he's weak affinity, so it could take a minute, could take whatever. This is not the fastest farm, but I'm just showing you that he does do some damage, guys. I used this champion in the arena for a long time. Everybody who asks me what to do with it, yes, build this guy. Trust me. He is going to be useful for you everywhere, especially if you're in the early game, especially if you're in the mid game, just because he's force affinity for one. A lot of is overwhelming. There's an overwhelming amount of champions in the early game that are magic affinity. There are more magic affinity champions in the game than any other affinity. So this guy already is, he's already bringing a lot to the table. Without even looking at his kit, he's already bringing a lot to the table. Force defense-based nuker. He's not attack-based. So he does have some survivability, right? But let's go get that increased defense up, and he just wipes the team. These are speed teams that you're going to be seeing in the early and mid game. These are the teams that are just going to, fight. They're going to be so frail, you're just going to be able to farm them, right? Most of those teams are going to be speed teams, right? Here we go. Another speed team here, right? Temp chains there. They've also got blah, 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 whatever that I don't even remember that blessing right there. But they could be faster than us. I don't know if this guy is faster than me or not. My champs aren't the fastest champs. Champs close to 500 speed now. But we're going to go. Kimmy's going to go. Decrease our turn meter. That sucks, but it's fine. We cut in, and then Stultus will nuke, right? Because this is a speed team. Speed teams do not stand a chance, right? Against most nukers nowadays. Most nukers, you can go in, beat a speed team really easily. Now, the tankier teams, right? Those Duchess teams, Brogni teams, Mortu teams. No, you don't want to be bringing Stultus against a Mortu, right? You don't necessarily want to be bringing him against a Duchess, but it's fine. Helicat as well. These other guys, these super tanky teams, you really don't want to be bringing him in there. We can showcase against this team here because he has a multi-hit A1. Could potentially take this Rotos down without a problem, depending on if they have bolster on their team or shield on their team right now. Is going to, make the difference whether we can really do this. All right, so boom. We got that there. We're going to take that. And we're not going to use his nuke first. What we're going to do first is we're going to use his A1 and try to take out this Rotos. And we did, right? Because we know you need a multi-hit ability to take out Rotos. All right, boom. He resisted he resisted Warlord, but it's okay. Obviously, Duchess is doing her thing right now. We're going to try to... All right, he didn't resist that time. It is fine. He has a multi-hit on his A2 that can also take down this Rotos, and it does. Now, these guys are super tanky. We've got damage mitigation from 2 champions on this team. I'm going to go ahead and slap it on auto and see how long it takes us to beat this team because we will beat them, I think. But, yeah. Go ahead and enjoy the fight. Sheep, it's gonna take longer. Oh my god. Just sheeping along. We're just sheeping along here. Yeah, so that was a ridiculously long fight. Obviously, like I said, you don't want to be bringing him against Duchess, ideally. Also, this team has a ton of damage mitigation with Python and Duchess, right? Got sheeps here, sheeps there, sheeps all around, right? Just not the ideal comp to be going up against, but speed teams, easy, you know, as long as you can win the speed race, right? This guy could 100% be faster than me, and we can take a huge L right now if we test his team out. But let's test it out and just see how fast he is. But speed team, Stultish, no problemo. Just like any other nuker there is, right? And yeah, they're faster. Yep, they're faster. And that is what happens when you're not fast enough. But had we been fast enough, it would have been fine, right? But that is where we use Stultish, guys, in the game. If you know, I've already done a guide with using him in Doom Tower and where he shines in the Doom Tower. So you can go check that out. I'm going to put it in the, you know, in a little thingy up there for you to check out as well. But, oh, didn't show the masteries. Oh my God, no wonder he wasn't doing any damage. I still got him in the masteries from... these are the masteries that I use when I use him in Doom Tower, guys. So no wonder he wasn't doing any damage in arena. He doesn't have damage masteries right now. Wow. But thank you for watching, guys. Until next time, I hope you learned something. Sorry about the masteries. He would have done a ton more damage, but until next time, guys, be good and be well.